Bears Ears, hundreds of kilometres of breathtaking red rock mountains and ravines that are packed with hidden treasures.
People have been traveling through this large landscape from earliest man 13,000 years ago.
It's ancient country, home for thousands of years to Native American tribes, then 170 years ago Mormon settlers. Now it's home to one of America's fiercest culture wars after the president revoked the vast majority of its environmental protections.
The Bears Ears is one of the most culturally rich or archaeologically rich places in our entire country. We have easily over 100,000 archaeological sites within the original boundaries of the Bears Ears.
That line I said about don't take sandstone for granted, it actually is true.
Archaeologist and guide Vaughn Haydenfeld has been searching for Bears Ears secrets for 30 years and has found more than just about anyone else.
So this little alcove was used by people through time.
Today he's taking us deep inside these canyons. It's a long way down, but worth the hike. It's some of the oldest rock art in America.
We have imagery in this area that possibly goes all the way back to the earliest man here 13,000 years ago.
This art is still in the protected zone, but Vaughn Haydenfeld says even more valuable sites in the surrounding valleys are now at risk.
I think this is a part of my culture too, my history. This is the land. It was here when I was born. So yeah, that's some basket maker sites way up high in that overhang.
We clamber across the hillside past remnants of two-storey shelters from 1200 AD.
And somebody stood inside their room up there and put their handprints.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Our final scramble is to this cliff fort, built by a local Puebloan tribe 800 years ago to protect from rival attacks.
This has a real significance for Native Americans. We have people in this area that kind of dismiss that whole Native American viewpoint.
When you turn the management of the forest over the tree huggers, the bird and bunny lovers, and the rock lickers, you turn over your heritage, you turn over your rights that you had as a citizen to take care of this country.
Utah's dominant Mormon political class has a different view. The state has long resisted federal involvement in its affairs and railed against Barack Obama when he granted Bears Ears protection in the last days of his presidency.
Some of the ideas that come out of D.C., a lot of them are not very bright. My ancestors came here 150 plus years ago to get out of some of the things that the federal government were doing to my great-great-grandparents because of their religious beliefs.
Some people think that the natural resources of Utah should be controlled by a small handful of very distant bureaucrats.
President Trump visited Utah's capital in December to announce an 85% reduction of Bears Ears, a presidential action unprecedented in scope and intent.
Yeah, this is it. This is the place, man.
State Republican Mike Noel was among the supporters.
Part of the help that happened here was that his oldest son, Donald Jr., has a really great passion for hunting. So being able to get him connected to people here in Utah, I think, was very, very important.
Ranching and hunting were still allowed under President Obama's monument. Utah Republicans are celebrating, though, because President Trump's reduction opens up more than 1 million acres to mining, as well as letting the states decide which, if any, Native American ruins to protect and manage. On the local Navajo reservation, which lies next to Bears Ears, they're furious. Mother and daughter Nellie Begay and Tammy Nakai harvest materials in Bears Ears for ceremonies.
Actually, it started when I was 12. My mom was a single mother, and so she already knew how to do the basket work.
They say the new rules mean they'll be shut out of ancestral lands.
Different trees, different barks, different herbs that we need, because if it weren't for that, we wouldn't even have anything today. And that's one thing that keeps our culture alive.
Two of the local Navajo lead us up this winding mountain track to lands that are no longer protected.
See that?
Like an arrow.
Jonas and Cynthia take us to a hokan, a Navajo shelter that 500 years ago would have been reinforced by pottery and bark.
I see that as erasing our history as Native Americans. It just shows how much Native Americans are still ignored to this day.
Behind the politicians are the energy companies.
The tribes have launched legal action against President Trump's cuts to Bears Ears, and they have heavy supporting firepower. The billionaire founder of outdoor clothing company Patagonia is now funding a national campaign to reverse the decision. But in Salt Lake City, they're accusing the outsiders of hypocrisy.
Let's hold them to it.
He's making money off the public lands. He's bringing people in. They're creating problems out there. I mean, they're walking on the land, and a lot of them are defecating on the land, and they're pounding pitons in the land. That's fine. What would I say to them? I would say your lands are in good hands.
What's clear is that the fight over Utah's canyons is headed for the Supreme Court. Both sides agree the decision could permanently alter the future of land conservation in America.
And I think that it is a big issue, and it's a real change in where this nation has been going.